Alright, so I just finished training and hopefully you can hear me. I don't know, hopefully the road and shit's not too loud. But I want to discuss a thought that I've been having for the last few days, and that thought is that every human is obliged in a way to maximize their health and fitness. And the reason for this thought is, with almost everything else in life, almost every other aspect of life that people seem to care about, relationships, career, things like that, there is a randomness element to those things. There is luck, there is an aspect of being in the right place at the right time. Whereas with your health and fitness, there is no randomness. The inputs being what you consume and how much you consume and how you move and how much you move will directly inform the outputs, which is your physique or your athletic capabilities. Whereas in every other aspect of life, it doesn't really happen. To an extent, it happens if you put effort into things. You will get results and things, but it's not as pure. It's not so black and white like it is with fitness. Because with your career, for example, even if you do the right things, study the right things, somebody has to give you an opportunity. Unless you start your own business, or even to start your own business, you need to have the capital to start that business. So if you're not in a position where prior to wanting to start that business you have the capital, your ability to make that business is lower than somebody who would have that capital. And I've been thinking about this, and I say this because your fitness, it's so black and white, because your inputs and your outputs match. It's one of the few things you genuinely can have control over in your life. I get that maybe with things like diseases, cancer, that kind of thing, you can't really control that, and that's an aspect of health. But in terms of how you feel, your fitness, and in that way, 100% of it is controlled by you. And you may feel like there's a randomness element to it, and most people think that there is a random element to it. That's why they feel like they can't lose weight. Whatever they try, whatever diet they do, whatever exercise they do, they can't lose weight. And that's not because there is a randomness element to fitness and health. It's because they create the randomness element by not knowing what their inputs and their outputs are. They don't track what their calories, what their intake is. They don't know. They don't have a measurable way of tracking their workouts and things. And then they feel like if they just try hard without actually measuring anything, they can get results. And for some people, it works like that. If you have very good genetics, I've known people who could eat whatever they want, train, lift a few times a week, and be in the 1% in terms of physique. And that's not how it works for most people. For most people, you have to take these things into account. You have to track these things for you to actually get any kind of outcome that you want. But with fitness, you can get these outcomes because there is no randomness. There's no randomness aspect to your fitness. If you know how much you're moving and how you're moving, and you do that movement, those movements with purpose. So say you want strength, so you train in a way that will develop strength, or you want speed, or you want jumping, or you want agility. All these things you can train for with specific movements. And then if you know what those specific movements are, then you know what your inputs are in terms of your movement activity and how you're moving. And then on top of that, what you're consuming. If you track what you're consuming, or you have a meal plan, or somebody is tracking it for you, then you know what your inputs are in terms of what you're eating and what you're consuming. And it can go to micro details. You can track your micronutrients. You don't need to just track calories. So the more you are informed about what your inputs are, the more effective your efforts will be. And alright, the camera died, but I'll just finish off my thoughts. So I put a new battery in. Where it died was I was saying that is the purity of fitness, that the inputs and outputs are not affected by anything random. If you control all the inputs, in general you will know, not even in general, always, if you control all the inputs, you are controlling the output and the results, the outcome. So I think this is a lot of the reason why in life people have feelings of being an imposter, and imposter syndrome exists, because in a lot of aspects of life, in your career, in your relationships, there is an element of randomness, there is an element of luck and chance. If you don't meet the right girl at the right time, if you apply for a job, you might have everything that they desire, but somebody might know somebody in the business and they might get it over you, even if you're more qualified than them. These are all aspects of luck and randomness. These are things you can't control. And with the imposter syndrome topic, I think when you get things in life and you know you didn't control every aspect of how you got those things, I think there's probably a tendency to feel like an imposter. So I think that's why with fitness, I don't really think anybody who has achieved a high level or feels good about their fitness, even if they haven't, the high level is very subjective, but most of the time people who are fit or who weren't fit and have gotten fit or anything like that, or even have made a slight change, you always feel good about it, unless you're unless you're competing in something or something like that. But just in general, you always feel good about your improvements in health and fitness, purely because you know, even if it is subconscious, you know that there was no randomness. Everything you did led to the outcomes that you achieved. And I think that's why there's very little feeling of being an imposter in the gym and in health and fitness, unless you're comparing yourself to other people. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, those are my thoughts on why everybody should attempt and try to maximize their health and fitness. Yeah. Right, one more clip, because I didn't conclude with the conclusion that I feel. The reason why health and fitness and being in control of your outcomes and it being so black and white is something that everybody should take advantage of is because the feeling of control, the feeling of your outputs, your outcomes being a direct result of the inputs and the efforts and things that you put in is that it feels good. I think it feels good. Health and fitness, I think, in my opinion, is the longest lever to feeling good in general. I'd say for the majority of people, it's the longest lever. It's the easiest way to feel good about yourself. It's the easiest way to feel like you're progressing. It's the easiest way to be proud of yourself. And I think that's something that everybody should strive for. Everybody should try and feel good. Try and feel in control of their life. Should try and feel proud of themselves. So I think with a lot of the random things, the luck, the chance in life, everybody should try to find things where there is little chance, little luck. And I think fitness is, I'm pretty biased, but I think fitness is the best aspect of life where you can know and you can approach it knowing that there's no luck. All the outcomes, all my achievements, all my abilities are a direct result of effort I've put in, of control I've had, of information I've gathered. And I think that knowledge makes you feel good. And feeling good is good. But yeah, okay, now I'm finished.